Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with a really cool new knife consult for you on something totally new. This is a knife from knife maker Remi Lavialle. Remi Lavialle being a French knife maker that I discovered through my conversations online with some of the other French collecting enthusiasts. I had recently gotten my hands on the David Lespect flipper. You can see the video on my channel for this knife. And it was a very, very special knife. I had been pursuing one of his knives for quite some time, and in so doing, you get to meet some of the French knife collectors who have a bunch of those knives from the French knife shows that they've been able to attend. And one of them said, you should check out Remi Lavialle. He is an up-and-coming maker, and he's doing some really cool stuff. And indeed, he is. Remi is a young guy that is doing some awesome things, including forging his own Damascus steel and doing some very unique designs. So this knife is called the New Hardy. I don't know if I had mentioned that yet. This is the Remi Lavialle New Hardy. This was the design that I wanted. This was a custom order that I placed shortly after the Blade Show 2019. So I placed this order in June, and it was finished in November. So it took about 6 months or 5 months or so for the turnaround, which I think was very good. And he was dead on schedule to exactly what he had mentioned when we first started talking about the knife. So that was very nice to see. This is a very, very cool knife. I'm going to go ahead and get some vital signs on this guy. It's smaller than I was anticipating. The pictures make it look very imposing, but indeed it's only about a 3.1, maybe 3.15 inch blade. You've got about 3 inches of cutting length, 7.1 inches of overall length. You're looking at about 3.9 inches of handle length. For my French companions that use the metric system, that's about 85 millimeters, 83 millimeters of blade. You've got about 78 millimeters of cutting length, 183 millimeters overall. Very precise with these millimeter measurements, and 100 millimeters on the handle right there. In the true French fashion, this has the front flipper style with the no forward guard for going up onto the blade. That is something that I hesitate a little bit about. There's not a whole lot of protection from sliding forward on the blade, although this one allows the blade to sit a little bit farther away than the Lespect does, where the blade is really right up on your finger just about. So that's an interesting choice right there. So we're going to go ahead and break this knife down anatomically. Maybe after we bring out a couple of other knives for a size comparison. I'll show you the Para 3 and the Para 2. You're going to see that this knife is just about the same size as the Para 3, maybe just a hair smaller. So that's quite a small little size right there for EDC. Let's go ahead and break the knife down anatomically. Up front is this blade done in this ladder pattern Damascus. This is 15 in 20 and 80 MCV2 or something like that. A couple of steels that provide high contrast, are easily hardenable, and take a nice edge. They are knife-making steels, the 15 and 20 being the shiny one and the 80 MCV2 being the dark one. This one he forges himself. If you look up Remi Lavialle on YouTube, besides this video and maybe a couple of others about these pocket knives, there's a video about how he actually forges all of these by hand with a hammer in his hand on an anvil and a forge. And I saw that and I said, I absolutely must have a sole authorship Damascus from Remi. That is something that I have been getting very excited about lately. You know, I like it on the Rob Carter knives, but it's certainly a mark of a true knife maker to show that they can make their own Damascus steels. Really impressive stuff. This is a beautiful pattern that he has brought to a nice high shine, and then he etched it. Gorgeous finish. Very shiny, but the contrast is excellent. And he's shaped it into this beautiful harpoon swedge drop point style blade. Very usable, super sharp behind the edge. Check the thinness of that grind and how thin that gets to be behind the edge. Very, very nicely done. Incredibly slicey little blade right here. Let me get my calipers out and I can actually tell you the blade stock on this. This is going to be nice and thin. Right here, 0.136 on the blade stock right there. Very, very thin. And so it's a nice gentleman's slicey carry. Really impressed by the functionality of the blade as well as how beautiful it is. So moving back to the pivot, this is obviously a front flipper. You're going to notice that this has a almost chamois style front flipper geometry. This is a little bit sharper right here. If I could make any recommendation to Remi, it might be to take down these edges just a tiny bit more. It does grip the thumb well and provides excellent traction for flinging the knife open. But over the repeated course of the day, with guys like me that like to flip this 100,000 times, it can get a tiny bit uncomfortable. It's a little bit squared off. But it's not a deal breaker by any means. It just is a little bit sharper than it needs to be. If that edge was just knocked down one tiny bit more, it would make it truly comfortable. But I do like the way that the knife looks when it's closed. It keeps the flipper tab rather low profile. And one of the nice things about the front flipper tab is that it disappears when you open the knife, maintaining these beautiful lines of this very nice profile. This is running on ceramic ball bearings with a ceramic detent. Remi really understands the concept of the modern detent. There is no play. It flips open very quickly. It's incredibly smooth and snappy. And as you can see, it just falls down under its own weight. It's just a very, very smooth and fast action with a snappy detent. I'm going to look inside here to see if I can see the detent ball. It almost feels like the detent ball is shaved. It is not, but it is just that smooth. That is what it feels like. Moving back to the handle, this runs on titanium frames. Let me wipe off this beautifully polished back spacer. Likely done in steel right here. Beautifully done. This is, in keeping with the traditional French style. This is the Frank Sous Vide Super Bad. I'll have a video on this on my channel as well. But as you can see, the polished steel back spacer is a very classy thing to have on both of these knives like that. Really harkens to the sort of slip joint style era knives where this would be the spring lock or something, or a back lock. It's just a very, very nice nice look, very classy look to it. And these are beautifully done ironwood scales. Gorgeous Damascus and ironwood combination. There's just something very natural looking about the combination of Damascus and ironwood. They just flow very well with their naturally wavy patterns. This one came with a pocket clip. This was a custom order for me. It cost €200 to get him to put this clip on it, which I think is a little bit expensive if you ask me. But it's sort of like paying the American tax. This does come with a nice slip cover right here for the pocket if you want to carry it without a clip, so you don't have to have it with a clip. But most of my American colleagues will want a pocket clip, but he does charge a significant premium for that. So what do I think of this knife overall? I am in love with it. It is a nice alternative to the Gareth Bull chamois. I don't have my chamois anymore, but here is the Miura in 3.5 inches. I think that it's important for us to maintain perspective. I think that some knives gain a significant amount of popularity like the chamois, but there are so many other makers out there doing amazing things like Remi Lavialle, like David Lespect, who are doing these amazing front flipper knives out of the French market. There are quite a number of other French makers that are doing this, and so I'm hoping to expand everyone's horizons and help you to see that there are many good makers doing really, really good work, and their books are open and they are available, and perhaps you can help yourself to one of these knives out there. This knife came in a little bit somewhere around €1,000 for the Damascus and ironwood combination. Asking someone to forge you a blade is going to be a little bit more expensive. He also works in Damasteel and RWL 34. He also works with carbon fiber and micarta and G10. So check out his website. Here's his card right here. You will see that it is Lame de Feu. I don't know how to speak French, but I'll pretend that I do. His website is right here, lamedefeu.fr. This is his contact information if you want to be in touch with him. He sent me a very nice message. Hello, Frank. Thank you very much for your order. See you very soon, I hope, Remi. So very, very cool guy. I'll also say during my discussions with him via email and Instagram Messenger, He was very open. He sent a lot of work in progress pictures, and he was very, very good on his timetable. So thank you, Remi, for making a beautiful knife. I hope that this video helps to bring attention to your work. You can follow him on Instagram at Remi Lavialle. You can follow me at Dr. Frunkey. Go ahead and click like and subscribe to my channel. And leave some comments down below about what you think of the new Hardy by Remi Lavialle, and maybe you can go check out his work and pick one up. So thank you guys for watching. As always, this is Dr. Frunkey saying take care.